Democratic strategist Joel Rubin. He served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under President Obama. Joel, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. As we've also been following this breaking news at home, I think it really underscores the urgency of Secretary Blinken's mission. Big picture, do you think we are closer than we have ever been to a hostage deal and a ceasefire, or what is the status of these talks?
Yeah, we're really close, Casey. It's not done yet, and Secretary Blinken talked about how it was a very generous offer. He's putting the pressure on through the Arab allies that he met with yesterday in the Gulf, and he's going to continue to meet with. The real stumbling block is the question of what happens next, actually. It's not necessarily the technicals of the deal itself, but is this going to be a sustainable or permanent ceasefire, which is what Hamas is seeking, and they're seeking guarantees that they won't be obliterated, quite frankly, by Israel after a hostage exchange. I mean, we're getting real into some diabolical turf here right now, where Hamas is holding on to these hostages as a last chance protection. And Israel's arguing if they don't get the deal, if there's no exchange, we could see Israel invade Rafah, which, of course, would make what we're seeing on our screens right now at the campuses explode. So we're really at a tense moment, and it's very close, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, well, speaking of the campuses, I want to bring this to our viewers because it's just in here to CNN. We're reporting that banners have been hung from Hamilton Hall. And again, Hamilton Hall is this sort of storied building on the campus of Columbia University, main academic building, but it was also occupied in 1968 during the protest movements there, again in 1972, again in 1985. But Joel, we're just learning, we're working on turning these pictures around so we can actually show people. Video obtained by CNN shows the building after it was taken over as banners are displayed from a building window that read Heinz Hall and Intifada. Now, the one Heinz Hall, the student group statement explained that's in honor of a young girl, Hind Rajab, from Gaza. She was found dead in her car with her relatives after she came under Israeli fire. So that's what that means. But this Intifada banner, can you just, I mean, this is being hung against a backdrop of a campus where Jewish students have talked about feeling unsafe. We have seen instances of anti-Semitism rear their ugly heads. Yeah, how do you view the hanging of Intifada on the building?
Well, it's incitement language. When you put Intifada as basically a public display of a position of a protest movement, what you're doing is you're telling Jewish students in particular that they are not safe. And so it's a dare. It's a challenge to what the administration of Columbia is pushing back against. And I think it's unfortunate because for those Palestinian activists and pro-Palestinian, pro-peace activists who want to get the message across to a broader audience, this is not how you do it, by scaring Jewish students and by telling the American people that you want violent revolution. There are other ways to get the message across that language. That goes too far.
Yeah, outside Hamilton Hall early Tuesday morning, we're also reporting students were chanting from the river to the sea. Great. Palestine will be free.
Yeah.
Again, that means, explain.
I mean,
I know what it means.
The substance of it, from the river to the sea, is a classic stand-in for elimination of the state of Israel. And that's when the Jewish community gets its backup, as it should and we should. And I'm an American Jew, and I'll say that proudly, that the idea of elimination of the state of Israel is a clear anti-Semitic argument. There are ways to get across the need for a ceasefire, the need for peace, the need for a two-state solution. And that's really what we should all be aiming for. And that's what, to go back to this diplomacy, that's what the Secretary is advocating. That's what the Arab allies in the Middle East are advocating, too. They want a day-after scenario. That's not easy, and it's not as if Prime Minister Netanyahu is exactly grabbing that goal either. He's been rejecting it, so there's a lot of work to be done. But if we want peace in the Middle East, there has to be a two-state solution. The idea that one victors over the other and one side doesn't get any land, the other gets everything, that's the recipe for continued fighting and war.
And can I come back to the Intifada word again? Because, I mean, the straight translating is Arabic word for uprising, but there's a lot of context around it and how it's used currently. Can you just kind of give us like the 101 on what that means and how it would make a student perhaps who is a supporter of Israel or comes from Israel or any of those things feel?
Well, Intifada, the first Intifada goes back to 1987, actually, when there was an uprising in the West Bank and into 1988 against Israeli occupation there. And so this is continued as an argument for liberation of Palestine and for revolution. The thing now is when Intifada is advocated, when there's an argument about it in favor of the Palestinian position, it's arguing that violent activity is what should be executed to achieve the goal. that globalize the Intifada, for example, is to attack Israel both from a physical perspective and boycott, divest from Israel. And it's a very aggressive term. It does not bring in people. It does not build alliances, but it does build what we're seeing, which is a lot of hostility right now. And that, unfortunately, makes Jewish students on campus in particular and those who support the state of Israel feel very nervous about their safety.
It doesn't mean peace.
It is not a call for peace. It is a call for uprising.
All right. Joel Rubin for us. Joel, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.